you know how we've talked about, like sometimes it's the question of like, am I addicted to the pain? Like, is that what's happening? Because I'll even watch things that are disturbing, which is the news. And how can I say all this? Because whatever you're paying more attention to, you're getting more of, right? Okay, but this is not the... So the point was, this happened this morning. They took me to something that was very upsetting. Yet after watching it, it's like sick, because it was like, oh, well, it makes you appreciate your life that much more. It's almost sick in that sense too. Like seeing the sickness that's out there, you're like, I don't want any parts of it. Like it helps you cling to you even more, right? To honor you, to love you, which is actually, as I'm saying this out loud, I'm now understanding. They took me to something else this morning. There was a passage about this. What was it? It was something about people just can't hear it. They just keep, like they didn't even blush. It's like they're not even ashamed. Like they basically, I forget what it was, but it was basically like they continue to look outside themselves and leave themselves, leave God, leave their knowing, leaving their center, leaving their alignment. It's like all the ways we talk about it, where it's like, I know there's so many ways people are trying to say the same thing. And it is hard to hear if you're not looking to hear, or it's hard to hear until you feel how far you've gone. And so that's kind of what it is. It's like that reminder of, when we're not satisfied in our own life, or we're looking outside ourselves for this or that, and then you see the horrific extremes that are happening in the news, you're like, fuck, I love my life. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for helping me get back to me. Oh, that was another vision that was coming through. See, they always connect them, but I don't understand the connection until they have me come on. They were showing me, it's like those that are connected and protected, that are his, which again, I feel like everybody is. This is like, this kind of language could be so confusing, so bear with me. But it's like when you're from unconditional love, when your heart is true and pure, your intentions are good, when you have always been that way, right? You haven't gone so far from yourself, you forgot yourself. I mean, in the most extreme way. I mean, because they show this over lifetimes, and okay, it doesn't matter. So what they were showing in this vision was, it was like that. It was like I was always connected to source, but then it is kind of like this idea that he'll toss us down like a fishing line, right? And we get all that gook on us, all that shame, that blame, that bullshit, those lies, those ties, those strings, the confusion, the delusion, all this disaster that you don't know up from down, left from right, all these things. And he has to slowly pull you back. He can't jerk you back, because there's so much thickness and gook and muck that he has to pull you through, that if he jerked you back up, the line would snap. And so that was the visual they were giving me, and it made complete sense. And it's like all these things where sometimes it is a slow, painful process to wash off all that shame, blame, gook, lies, ties, confusion, delusion. It's like we can't hear ourselves. We can't hear our inner truest truth, which is our connection to our alignment to us, which is directly connected to unconditional love, which is the highest vibration of all. And so it's like, if you can't connect with the God within, who is then directly connected to the above all. And so so these are all connecting, and I'm trying to get there because they're flashing between them all. That was something, oh God, maybe see if I can find the passage again. I don't know if they'll, I don't even know where it was. It's not How They Take Me. It's like those ancient nations whose language you don't understand, their weapons are deadly. And people will ask, why is the Lord doing this to us? Then you shall say, you rejected him and gave yourselves to other gods while in your land. So you rejected your inner voice, your innermost knowing, and gave yourself to other gods. You looked outside yourself and listened to all the bullshit rhetoric outside you. You were afraid of the illusions you were projecting. And while you were in your land, while you were in your body, you could have said no, you could have walked away, you could have listened to yourself, you could have loved yourself, but you didn't, right? So it's, you rejected him and gave yourself to other gods while in your land. Now you must be slaves to foreigners in their lands. Meaning, how I'm taking this, but you could also take it literally, because a lot of this stuff plays out in real time in real life. But instead of putting it all into the media, which we could do, it's like for ourselves to hear it too. It's like, so then you must be slave to foreigners, meaning you chose other gods, false idols, foreigners, those outside yourself. So now you're slave to them. You wanted to please them. You wanted to bow to them. Okay, now you're their slave. And it's in their land. They own you. It's that idea of all these lies and ties, these confusions and delusions. Why are you doing what you're doing? Right? A lot of times people are doing what they're doing to get validation, to get approval, to get, quote, love, right? Forgetting that it comes from within. They forget that. We all do. I did a children's book about that, and I don't know if you remember these stories from years ago, and the illustrator I was working with, they definitely could hear none of my messages. I think they thought I was insane. So none of them ended up going out, because it was like, they just didn't like any of them, because they couldn't hear them. Because it does sound insane to people, right? Like not realizing any love you ever feel is the love that's opening up and coming from your own heart, releasing and flooding you from within. But most people don't even know how to do that. So they're seeking outside themselves constantly. They see it. We all do this. I've been guilty of this more than enough time. More times than I'd like to share. It's embarrassing when you see it and then you see what you were doing, because you snap back awake. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Have I lost my motherfucking mind? Yes, you did. You did. You lost your mind, right? Because that's what happens is when we think, the feelings in our body are generated from our thoughts and our body. We're feeling them. And so when we see something outside of us and we're like, oh my God, that's what's making me. No, you're telling yourself some thought. You like that. That's cute. That's adorable. That's, if you see a puppy or this, whatever. And then you are feeling those chemicals that are releasing in your body. But then we're like, oh, the puppy made me happy, right? It's like we do all these trip-ups, confusion, delusions, like strings, ties. But usually it's like in a really awful negative way that keeps us trapped. So if you do it, let's just do a relationship. You fall in love with somebody. You think they're the ones that are basically propping you up, when it's no, you need to have your own alignment and connection and direct connection. And when you've left that center and you think it's them, then you're a slave to them. And it's like, I don't want you to think relationships are bad either. I'm not having a good time explaining this morning. I'm not doing see, even my words, can you hear? I'm choppy. That's got to be part of the message. Usually all that stuff plays into this. Oh. I'm sitting here saying to them, like, I really don't care. Because one of them just said, you sound funny, or you whatever. And I was like, who cares? But that's the point. It's like, we can't care. Right? Not in a bad way. It's like, I know I'm coming from a good place to help others to hear it in so many different ways on how to. Oh, that was the other thing they're showing, how to love and honor yourself. So one of the things that they were showing this morning, when I turned back to them and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking happy. Thank you for having me remember me and get back to me and all these things. So they keep interrupting me to tell me other things, and then I completely off track. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was something about caring, and it's like, it's not, I guess it's like not identifying, or maybe that's what they're trying to get me to spit out, is like not identifying with any of it. Like, even if I sound crazy now, I don't care, right? Because that's just somebody's interpretation of what is occurring, right? It's not even, okay, so now they're back to showing me, but the concern and what they wanted me to share was so many people are hurt by actions of others, right? We can call it manipulation, we can call it all types of like evil plots and plans. I mean, they were showing me some crazy wackadoodle sick stuff. And people do fall into those traps, but then they have to be real and honest with themselves. And that is hard. It's tough to be true and honest with ourselves. It is. It really is, because it's so covered up under so many other lies and bullshit we've been telling ourselves, feeding ourselves, as well as others pushing it down too. So it's like, don't worry. Don't, there's no need to blame outside yourself. There's plenty of our own humble pie to eat. But it's like uncovering those truths ourselves. Like, why did, so many people, it's like you just have to do it for yourself, right? Like, it's hard to face that stuff. A lot of these things they show me, it can be a very clear, like it could be painted very clearly, predator and prey, or, victim and aggressor. You can, and yet it's like, okay. Now let's get over that, because it's not empowering anything. It's keeping all the dynamics exactly the same. It's keeping all the power where it's not healthy. It's abuse of power, and it's keeping those in victimhood disempowered. Even if they claim they're voicing out, even if they claim they're blah, 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 in their body, they're still holding on to that fear as they claim victimhood. Don't claim that shit. Toss that shit out of you and empower yourself. Don't keep drawing that in. Don't keep accepting that. Don't keep claiming that title. You don't want that fucking title, right? You have to forgive yourself, but you have to tell yourself the truth. They're not forgiving themselves because they don't think they need to be forgiven for anything, right? It's like they have to forgive themselves because they have to learn what the truth is. They have to get to the crux of the matter. And sometimes it's really hard because, again, sometimes it is generational things that are so buried deep in the bloodline that it's not even seen to turn and face or recognize. It's not understood. So it's confusing to us. Like, why would I feel this way? Or why would I think this way? Or why? It doesn't even make sense. And it's like a generational thing that's passed down. So it's so buried and so deep in the line that it doesn't make sense in this lifetime. It was from lifetimes and generations ago. And so it's a very old passed down wound. And because it hadn't been looked at, it's been buried up. So it's not a conscious present day understanding. And so it's like, forget all that. Just really go within and be honest with yourself. What were you looking to get? What were you scared of? What were you scared of? And okay, and what would that mean? And what would that mean? And what would that mean? And keep following that why. And start to empower yourself again. And it's going to suck because it hurts. And it's like embarrassing or shameful or sad that you would leave yourself over an illusion, a falsehood. But you believe that falsehood was real as anything, and it was a monster you were scared to death of, and you were afraid to face. But now you're in the safety of your own home and your own mind, and take the time to unravel that stuff and figure it out for your own sake. It's like you got to slay those demons and figure out how, so that you can have peace within. But it is something that it's a continual practice, because we're continually faced with new. It's like when you don't remain present, you're going to continue to encounter more demons, because you're going to fall into autopilots when you're not present. And so it's like you have to figure out ways to, one, stay present, do the cleanup work, and it's like set practices in place so that when you do fall offline and recognize it, that you know how to get back to yourself. And it's like make that bond stronger and stronger each time, so it's less likely to happen. All right, I feel like I could go on and on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't think I got out everything they wanted to, but I have to get off a sec. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.